Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of PWR Today. This is Matthew Thomas, joined alongside Linda Kay. Linda, how are you this fine morning?
As I always am. Tremendous. It's summertime. I am actually getting ready to head a few hours north, Milwaukee, in northern Wisconsin, the woods up there, for a 4-night bender of rock and roll and metal and camping.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, who are you going to go see?
Well, it's 4 nights, so some of the headliners are Disturbed, Evanescence, and so check this out. So if you're doing all 3 nights camping, you get a bonus night. So
Ooh.
honestly, that's what I'm looking most forward to tonight, because we've got some 80s hair bands playing. We got a little Firehouse, little Warrant, little Lita
I was
Ford.
going to ask you. I was going to literally ask you if Warrant was there. Warrant's going to be there, huh?
Yes, and I have some specific attire and homage to
See, I was going to
Bobby
tell
Brown's
you if you wanted
yes.
to save a little money at the merch stand and wear your own merch, what would you wear, Linda?
Oh, I got my collar and elbow attire already packed up. So if you want to be sporting your collar and elbow gear at your favorite concerts, no matter what type of band, what kind of music, you will always be looking fashionable and tremendous. That is the word. Wearing collar and elbows. So go to collarandelbowbrand.com, and to save a little extra cash that you might use towards some beverages or snacks of your choice at said concert, use promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY to save 10% off your order anytime.
Well, Linda, hopefully Collar and Elbow is going to be selling some shirts. And I know somebody else who's apparently going to be selling some shirts through another URL correlated with the WWE. That is Mick Foley. Mick Foley announcing yesterday that he has come to terms with the WWE on a new Legends deal. Now, I believe his T-shirts were available previously through Pro Wrestling Tees, so that will be no more. And the whole Foley stash of T-shirts are going to make their way over to WWE's website. But Foley's had some interesting relations with the WWE's throughout the years. He's been, I believe he's had previous Legends deals, and then occasionally not necessarily as tight knit with the company. But Mick Foley back with the WWE in a Legends deal, Linda.
That's great. I mean, for anyone getting that Legends deal, let alone legendary Mick Foley, whether his T-shirts or gear or any other type of endorsements he has, while those may not be of existence anymore, that's okay. I'm sure that Legends deal is quite sweet in its own. So good for Mick. This, I'm assuming, would result in us getting some more Mick Foley specials or appearances.
Mick Foley's a big fan of Christmas. I would not mind some WWE shop Mick Foley Christmas ornaments. I think that would look nice adorning your tree, or maybe a Mick Foley Christmas sweater. Like the possibilities are really, really endless there. Speaking of WWE Christmas sweaters, I am the proud owner of a Braun Strowman Christmas sweater from WWE shop from a couple of years. Yeah. So I've got my festive Braun Strowman gear. So WWE has got a history of rolling out those sweaters. So maybe they'll do it again for Mick. What WWE?
Okay, so I'm sorry. I was just saying, so you're telling me that in the middle of summer this past week in the Milwaukee area, while we had Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman, for 3 nights in a row, you could have been sporting your Braun Strowman Christmas sweater all 3 nights. Wow.
I could have appeared in my Strowman Express with the little train on there. I could have broken that. That would have been quite the hit, because you're showing your fashion sense, but you're also, okay with being a little uncomfortable in that Wisconsin heat in order to be fashionable. My grandmother used to say it hurts to be pretty, and I think that would have been well worth it to hurt a little bit just to see all the joy that it would bring to the faces of everyone with my Strowman Express sweater.
Can you imagine if that was what you got autographed? and in all
Oh,
your pictures with him. That
oh
would have
my
been great.
goodness. Oh, that would
Next
be
time.
that. That would be fantastic next time. Exactly. No matter what time of year it is, it's always the appropriate occasion for us Strowman.
Matthew, if you are back for Blizzard Brawl this year, I mean, with Adam being in
Oh,
Wisconsin, living,
oh,
yeah, just an idea.
I think that's it right there. I think we have my Blizzard Brawl wardrobe picked out already. Well, last night was another exciting edition of NXT 2.0, at least to this viewer's eyes. Might not have been exciting to everybody, but they did an overall good job with the show.
Yeah.
We would open up with Giovanni Vinci going up against Apollo Crews. Now, this, I believe, only Cruz' second match back in NXT 2.0. And Vinci's mainly been getting these squash matches here. So this was actually a really good wrestling match to open up the show here. Vinci getting the win after a little interference from the crowd there towards the end. So a little surprise here. Cruz not going over like I thought, but Vinci looking strong and even with interference getting the victory here.
Yeah, I guess the key point here is Apollo Crews not getting over strong because of interference, but like you said, Giovanni Vinci looking strong as well. That was a great match between the two of them. Great physical specimens, if you will. So that was a great match to kick off NXT last night, but also just, I don't know if you caught that replay at the very end of the match when you could see Zion Quinn in the audience, just standing there, observing, waiting for his chance to interfere, which he did at the very end. That guy with the camera there, I don't know if he has anything to do with Zion Quinn, but there was some interference to some extent with that as well.
Yeah, I know the camera guy. I was kind of wondering. I hope he got his camera back, because
Yeah.
it would have been better if it was like a Kodak Fun Saver or something.
I was just thinking, or a Polaroid.
Like that really would have put it over the edge there. But there was some fun that was saved until the second segment. You see what I did there? Cameron Grimes would come out to the ring, although he didn't look like he was having that much fun. A very downtrodden Cameron Grimes after losing his NXT title match last week. However, he would not be on the mic long. He was interrupted by JD McDonough, who we saw at the end last week attack Braun Breaker. And McDonough gets on the mic and cuts a promo, and I thought this was very interesting. He says that several people thought he was going to premiere last week, including Meathead.
Yeah.
So shout out to listener JD, giving a little bit of love to the man they call Meathead. But this would result in some physicality between McDonough and Grimes, excuse me. And looks like we got a program with these two. So we were wondering what was next with Cameron Grimes. And apparently this is it, Linda.
Interesting. When Grimes first came out, he seemed a little bit emotional, and I didn't know if this was his farewell possibly to the NXT universe, but just because last week JD McDonough
McDonough, I think is the way it's pronounced.
Jordan Devlin, yes. So he had his moment there with Braun Breaker, who is out on injury. We did not see the champion last night. I really wasn't still putting two and two together with that this would be a program moving forward, keeping Cameron Grimes at NXT. So I'm into it. I think it's something good, something new for Cameron Grimes. And while I feel the audience there at NXT are turning back to liking Grimes more, I think they'll like him even more so now that we've got the new heel there, JD, in the house. So I think that's something good. How great Cameron Grimes is, and just his experience. I would still like to see the title on him, but right now that was a shot for him and it didn't happen. So is he being more utilized to help elevate some of the newer stars there, or eventually will he get his turn on the main roster?
I don't know. Like I said, I thought last week would have been a great spot for this Cameron Grimes, because I think this is the most effective Cameron Grimes they have had on the roster. He is a three-dimensional Grimes. It's not just the comedy of To the Moon. Like, this is a very developed character. So who knows? But I look forward to seeing where they're going with this from week to week. The next place that NXT would go last night was Katana Chance going up against Tatum Paxley. Paxley getting the win after a little bit of encouragement from Ivy Nile ringside. With Diamond Mine kind of up in the air, is Tatum Paxley a future Diamond Mine member, Linda?
Yeah, that's been teased for quite a while now, and despite, as you just mentioned, the ups and downs, the questionability. I can't even think the questionability. Is that a word?
Yes, questionability. It sounds right.
Of Diamond Mine's future. That was a little surprising, but they don't. She doesn't necessarily have to join Diamond Mine. It could be Ivy. I mean, if Diamond Mine does, split or disappear sometime soon, and that could be a good tag team right there between Ivy and Tatum, just because they have their history, and looking good. It's good to see that support for one another.
And just so you know, Linda, anything is a word, because like somebody had to invent all the words. So like at one point, every word that we know was not a word, but somebody invented it. So you can make anything a word. That's how words are made, regardless of what like Webster thinks or the I guess
Merriam.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or the panel, because I guess those people are long, dead and gone. So I guess if you want to make something an official word, you have to go like before a committee or a panel, or file some paperwork or something.
Right. Or Britannica encyclopedia.
Exactly. So we don't believe in all of the bureaucracy of word panels here on PWR Today. We just make up words whenever we want to.
I might need a semester at Chase U, possibly.
Oh, you might. Now, I understand, Linda, Chase U, they do have a study abroad program, because apparently they are in jolly old England now, and Andre Chase apparently getting knighted, huh?
Yeah. I was hoping to actually see that happen. When they mentioned going across the pond last week, I wasn't sure if they were actually gonna. I was thinking quite possibly, we got NXT UK going on, and yeah, there you have it. We had, I think he called them two of his top students, or of course, we got Bodie and Thea. So
absolutely. No, a great Chase U segment last night. We would also have another backstage vignette. Joe Gacy. Now, I don't think we had gotten an official name to the stable before last night. We had his two buddies called his Zions, or no,
Diads.
What were they?
Diads.
Yes. Well, last night we apparently got a stable name. The Schism is what they're going by now, apparently. I believe we had it, at the bottom of the screen, and he's calling them the Schism. And it's a big announcement. They have gotten comfortable enough with themselves that next week is the week, Linda. The Schism scheduled to expose themselves on NXT 2.0 next week.
Yeah, so I'm glad you clarified that that's their faction name, because I was doing stuff in the kitchen. I was trying to make and have dinner there, but all I saw was the super at the bottom, and I thought maybe that was the new name of the Dyads. I was like, wait, what? Now there's Schism, but if that's what they're all called as a faction, that's news to me. So thank you. Yeah, I am excited to see who they are. I still believe that they are already established talents at NXT. I think just based off what they've been saying, that what they've put into the company so far, what they've gone through, I'm still pretty confident it's grizzled young veterans.
Yes. You may very well be right, and we might not have to wait much longer to find out. Linda, last week, one of my biggest critiques with the NXT 2.0 July 5th edition was the fact that the barbecue didn't go anywhere. Well, we got a course correction last night, because wouldn't you know, they were watching the replay back, and we got a match between Senga and Duke Hudson due to Senga's cannonball in the pool. Duke Hudson was having none of that. So those two going up against each other, and Senga coming out with a victory and looking strong.
Yeah, I did not think about that when I saw that's what led to that match last night. So there we go. I think NXT Creative was listening, and they thought, like, we still have to give the people what they want, a payoff from the pool party barbecue that was. I was hoping to see a little Ichimanjiro drinking a little bit more with
Yeah.
red Solo cups, but that's all right. I know we had Duke Hudson high on the list as far as NXT talents. I want to still see something come around for him.
Yeah.
He's great look, great talent. I think there's still something there. So, but right now it is Sanga's time, and maybe the next or not necessarily pay-per-view or pay-per-view live event, but NXT special, we can have a kiddie pool and have a cannonball
Absolutely,
off.
absolutely. There you go. I like the sound and I like the continuity there. Keep it going. I mean, we had a bar fight last night that's going to lead to a match next week. So I mean, pretty deadly. Rolling up in a honky tonk like you'd expect them to. So we've got some continuity from week to week with NXT. Another standout match last night, Von Wagner going up against Solo Sikoa. Really solid match, lasted over several segments, ended in a double count out, and that would not be the end of the match. We would actually see these two fighting all over the NXT arena last night. I never saw them in the kitchen, though. I don't think they got to fight it in the kitchen, but I think kind of like we've got our program for some weeks to come with Grimes and McDonough, I think we've got it with Von Wagner and Solo.
I like it. Both real hard hitters and not really taking no for an answer. And I like how, sure, it was a double count out, fine, but they really kept it going. We didn't get the kitchen, but we got the makeup room. We also, it went outside, and I think it did take, I think Sophia Cromwell is her name. She did finally cool off Von Wagner, but then we had Mr. Stone there getting a little too close to Sikoa, but I'm liking this. I mean, right now, until Sikoa gets his hands on the title shot again, I think that putting him in this program with Von Wagner is a good one and well accepted.
Exactly, and at least they didn't go all the way up to the penthouse because that was occupied by Trick and Carmelo and their friends up there. So maybe they can save that for the big blow off to the feud, or maybe they can do like WWE did some years back and have like a ladder match on the top of instead of Titan Tower, they can do it on the top of Trick and Carmelo's penthouse.
Yeah, I like that segment. That's how they roll. I love it. I love them.
That is how they roll. And what's interesting, I have not seen, it used to be that there was, I believe, a black Dodge Challenger that everybody shared and everybody would drive the Challenger around. Haven't seen that in a while. So I wonder if somebody didn't quite bring that back. But
there was that big white Lexus SUV though, and I was thinking, man, NXT stars are getting paid quite nicely if that was the car that Roxanne Perez. If that was her own car that she stumbled out of because somebody attacked her after.
Or they've traded the Challenger in for that because the car market's been going crazy the last couple of years. So, maybe the appreciation on the Challenger actually got them, that big Lexus. So, NXT making wise vehicle decisions. We would also have Lash Legend going up against Indy Hartwell. This match kind of started as a backstage vignette involving former, I believe, WNBA star Lash Legend. Was she in the She was in the WNBA, right? She wasn't just college.
I'm not sure. I know she was definitely a college standout. If she made it to WWE, WNBA, I'm not sure, but I like that they reminded us that. I like that. That was a little something.
I think the way the story goes, if I'm not mistaken, was WNBA, and then the season was suspended due to COVID, and she ended up in the WWE.
You're right. She wanted to try something else to excel. That's right.
If I'm not mistaken. Now, we did see the ball get away from her and it kind of be angled down with a bat. And, of course, my first thought is Sting is backstage and he's going to interfere in Indy Hartwell and Lash Legend. Not the case. It was Alba Fire. We did have a little bit of an unfortunate slip up there at the end of the match with Indy slipping on the ropes. However, they covered it up pretty good. She reversed the pin attempt that Lash Legend attempted there. So Indy picking up the win, and potentially we've got a little bit more there with Alba Fire and Lash Legends. So another feud. They're continuing to kind of stoke with the fire analogy there. Week to week.
Yeah, definitely something to brew between the two of them. I like this as well. They're both like similar in height. Something about that just kind of they pair.
Yeah.
I see they kind of just because almost similar in size, I guess. And the use of the bat, it was not Sting, but that's all right. I hope that how she comes up with the end of the bat on fire. I would like to see a little combination there. We're going to bring in Floyd and have a fireball shot out of it because there's what's the female version of a wizard?
You know what? That's the thing right there. That NXT arena would just come unglued. That's where you do the big money AEW invasion there. That dude that is there in the front row every week in a different NBA jersey, he would lose his mind, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the storyline that basically permeated through the entire show, we actually started the show off with Roxanne Perez being attacked. We didn't see the attacker. We just saw her down and injured. And the question was, who attacked Roxanne? And was she going to be able to compete? Now, this wasn't a full out who shot JR. This was answered in one episode. But what would happen? We would see Roxanne. Roxanne would make it to the ring after Cora Jade came out and said she would be happy to take her spot. Cora Jade looked surprised. Was it concern, or did she potentially lose an opportunity because Roxanne was able to compete? This match would, be a solid match. Roxanne selling the injury. However, it would be, and you could potentially have telegraphed this. It would be Cora Jade turning on Roxanne, hitting her with the women's tag team titles to cost Roxanne the match. Mandy Rose retains here. Cora Jade with the heel turn on her best pal, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I was sensing that from the start. I think just right off the bat when Mackenzie was interviewing Cora and she was automatically putting the blame. I think a lot of people they were kind of alluding it to most likely being toxic attraction, but I'm like, I had my spidey senses as well, which I think many people did as well. It's just interesting because they are the tag team champions as well. So we'll see where it goes in that regard, but yeah, I sensed that, and at the very end, the camera was getting Cora folding the belt, and I noticed it was ready to hit Roxanne, and then the skateboard in the end. Things happen. It happened to breaking her hand before it hurt. But hey, speaking of something else where they had to get covered up, Cora did then wisely picked the other end of the skateboard and then hit Roxanne with that. But if do you feel it's too soon for them? I mean, they just made them the champions, or
Well, here's the thing. I'll give NXT credit. I mean, they haven't done a lot of major swerves or heel turns since it's been NXT 2.0. So
wait, Swerve Strickland is back up?
Oh yes. Who's NXT home? Is it? It's Swerve's NXT home.
Yeah.
So, but they went off the air giving you something to talk about, and I think last night there was a lot of things to talk about from that excellent opening match, but from that excellent opening match to the whole the whole fight with Von Wagner in Solo, you still had excuse me, a lot of your kind of your backstage segments and your kind of quick hits that NXT 2.0 is known for right now. But you did have a little bit more of kind of traditional feud-based storytelling. So I think last night was a very solid offering overall from NXT 2.0. And I got to say, I'm interested. I'm probably more interested in tuning into next week's episode than I have necessarily been, from one week to the next in NXT, because normally it's more of kind of a grab bag presentation to me. Whereas, all right, we've got some serial storytelling here now.
Yeah. And the more I think about it with how it ended, Cora Jade did have a few shots at that NXT women's title. So you can already, I can see where it's coming from. Getting with Roxanne already having that opportunity to turn in her contract opportunity. It's not the right wording for getting that breakout tournament, win. So yeah, this is good. I like it.
Absolutely. Well, if you like serial storytelling, and by serial storytelling, I mean stories about favorite breakfast cereals, tune in tomorrow when the man they call Meathead recounts a very interesting story about him and a bowl of his favorite breakfast cereal. For Linda Kay, this is Matthew Thomas. We will talk to you tomorrow morning.